The Residence is a new whodunit comedy series on Netflix. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. Cordelia Cupp, an eccentric detective, arrives at the White House in order to solve a murder which happened during a state dinner. The Residence has a really great cast behind it. Uzo Aduba plays Cordelia Cupp. You also have Randall Park, Giancarlo Esposito, Jason Lee. The cast is really great within the series. And it has your classic whodunit style, but it's set in the White House. Giancarlo Esposito's character is killed, and since there are so many people at this state dinner, so many different rooms, so many different floors, everybody is a suspect within this series. And several episodes dedicate one person as a suspect. Maybe a chef, it may be an electrician, whoever in the series. There's a whole episode dedicated to believing that this one person is the murderer, even very early on within the series. But we start to learn more about this case and more about Giancarlo Esposito, and that is where it really keeps you on the edge of your seat, really guessing to the last minute of that last episode. And what I love about whodunits is all those different suspects, but what they would do with the comedy aspect of the series is that since there are so many different people within the series, everybody's got a different view on the night. And so every person that they interview within this series, the stories change and they have a little snippet of what that person had viewed within the series. And so we have often a lot of different changes within certain little small clips of what that person had witnessed on this night of this murder. And people say, you know, this person was talking to this person, but no, this person was talking to this person. This person seemed very happy talking to this person, but no, they actually seemed very angry talking to that person. No, there was 50 people running over here. No, there's only 10 people. You have a lot of different stories, a lot of people witnessing things that just didn't really make sense, and it really never really happened in the first place. And that's where the comedy really starts to play into it. It feels like at times it is a spoof of whodunits, but also taking itself quite seriously with its story. So very early on, I caught onto the comedic tone of the series, and that is more of the quick, witty dialogue between characters, and also a lot of the edits when it comes to all the different people that are being interviewed in the series. That is where the jokes work. Randall Park's pretty funny in here. Cordelia Cupp is very straightforward, but also sarcastic. But Uzo Aduba also brings a lot of comedy to her character as well. So a lot of the minor characters like Jason Lee, who plays the brother of the president, he brings a lot of comedy to the series as well. So even though this is a drama and it is a whodunit, you have that comedy that shines throughout, but it's never really over the top. It's never like boring either. I found the comedy to be placed nicely throughout the series, and I laughed throughout. But I was more invested in the murder. Much like all of the whodunits, I was drawn to this case. By having several episodes, you could really dedicate to the fact that this is a large murder case with a lot of different people. And so you can interview a lot of people that work at the White House and get their side of the story. And you get to know a lot of different people that work at the White House and get to know them personally and their involvement with this night at the state dinner. I really like how they brought Cordelia Cupp into this series and the way that she was written. The dialogue is very quick. It's very snappy between characters. Cordelia Cupp is a very fast talking character. She knows how to get information out of people by just staring at them. But Uzo Aduba is able to handle that quick charm to that character, but also being very sarcastic, straightforward, having her own little quirks, loving to observe birds. Just enough personality to give this character some depth, but also you're solely focused on that whodunit. And a lot of whodunits now have these detectives that are a little bit quirky and stand out amongst the crowd, but it feels like a classic whodunit with its style and Uzo Aduba is able to bring her own personality to this character, and I really like her throughout these episodes and how she was able to get information, but also be very determined throughout. And I really like Giancarlo Esposito as well. Even though he was murdered in the beginning of the series, we also get a lot of flashbacks to that character and how he runs the ship at the White House. We get enough backstory to that character as well. I was afraid with having so many different characters within the series that it would feel very stuffed, but I think it ended up working out because you had a hard time piecing together different information when it came to who ended up killing Giancarlo Esposito's character. And by having so many different people in the series, you believe that many different people could be the murderer, and that really just starts to play with the overall series and keeps you on the edge of your seat. And as we introduce more characters, you believe that their motives and their history with Giancarlo Esposito's character could lead to them being the murderer. But they really switch things up very early on within the series to keep it very fresh and moving throughout. I really like The Residence. Has everything about a classic whodunit within it, but also having that comedy thrown throughout that feels like a little bit of a spoof at times. The dialogue between characters is very sarcastic. It's very straightforward, direct, very snappy as well. A lot of fast talking moments within this series, but I overall liked it. I'm gonna go ahead and give The Residence a B+. Thank you guys for checking my review for The Residence, a new whodunit series on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.